The weight of unsaid words can be suffocating. I've carried them with me for so long, but now, over this simple cup of coffee, I find the courage to say what I've been holding back, because it's too important to keep inside any longer. There's something special about moments like this, when we can sit together, take a breath, and simply listen. Over coffee, I'm ready to let you in on what's been taking up so much space in my heart, what I can no longer keep to myself. We've all had those moments when we know we need to say something, but we're not sure how. Today, with coffee in hand, I've found the courage to speak the words I've been too afraid to say. This is my truth, my confession. The thing about keeping things to ourselves is that it can start to feel like a heavy burden, one we can't carry anymore. But today, with a cup of coffee between us, I'm ready to share what's been on my mind for far too long. It's funny how sometimes the things we most need to say are the hardest to speak. But over coffee, there's a sense of calm that allows the words to come easier. And today, I'm ready to say what I've been holding inside. There are conversations that can change everything. The kind where you share your truth, where you let go of all the fear, and you finally speak what's been weighing on your heart. Over coffee, this is one of those conversations. We've all had those moments when we want to say something but aren't sure how. Today, I find myself sitting here with you, ready to speak the truth I've been holding inside for so long. This isn't just a conversation, it's a release. There's a sense of clarity that comes when you finally open up, when you allow yourself to be vulnerable and speak what's been pressing on your heart. Today, over coffee, I'm ready to share the thoughts that have been clouding my mind for so long. It's often the things we keep to ourselves that weigh us down the most. But over coffee, in this peaceful space, I'm ready to let those things go. It's time to share what's been stirring in me, to finally speak my truth. There are some truths that need to be spoken, even when it feels scary or uncertain. Over coffee, I feel the courage rising, ready to finally share what's been on my heart for far too long. The most meaningful conversations aren't always the loudest ones. Sometimes they happen in the quiet moments when we allow ourselves to simply be honest. That's what I need to do right now. Tell you what's been on my heart over coffee. Sometimes the smallest things carry the heaviest weight. Over coffee, I want to share something that's been on my mind for a while. Something that's been quietly pulling at my thoughts, waiting for the right moment to be said. In the rush of life, we often forget the power of just sitting together and talking. Over this cup of coffee, I need to tell you something that's been on my mind. A truth I've been afraid to face, but that can't wait any longer. There's an unspoken bond in sharing moments like these, when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, to speak the words that have been hidden deep inside. Over coffee, I'm ready to share what's been weighing on my heart. It's strange how the things we need to say often get buried beneath our own fear, but today I can no longer keep them in. Over coffee, I'm ready to let go of the silence and share what's been holding me captive. Sometimes it takes a simple moment, a shared cup of coffee, for the truth to finally surface. Today, I find myself in that moment, ready to speak the words I've been holding back for far too long. Life has a way of hiding the truth in the chaos of our minds, but there's something about this quiet moment that allows it to rise to the surface. Over coffee, I'm ready to let you in on what's been occupying my thoughts. Have you ever had something to say, but felt like the right time hadn't come yet? Well, today is that moment. Over coffee, I'm going to share what's been on my heart, what's been waiting to be heard. Sometimes, the most difficult thing is finding the right words to express what's in your heart. But over this cup of coffee, I feel ready to share everything that's been swirling around in my mind, everything I've been holding back. There's something comforting about sharing the truth with someone who listens, without judgment. Over coffee, I'm ready to finally say the things I've been too afraid to speak out loud until now. Some things are too important to leave unsaid. Today, over coffee, I'm going to speak the truth that's been waiting for the right moment to be shared, the truth that can no longer stay hidden. Over coffee, I'm going to share the truth I've been holding inside for far too long. It's time to stop pretending, to stop hiding, and to finally say what's been on my mind. There are moments when words become fragile, but there's still a need to speak the truth. In the quiet comfort of a coffee shop, I'm ready to let go of the weight I've been carrying and share what's been on my mind, what's been silently growing inside my heart. Have you ever had a thought so overwhelming that it consumes you until you can't breathe without expressing it? That's where I am right now, standing at the crossroads of silence and honesty, waiting to finally share what's been pressing against my chest. Sometimes, the most meaningful conversations happen over something as simple as a cup of coffee. It's in the shared silence, the warmth of the moment, where we open ourselves and let the truth come flowing out, unfiltered and real. In a world that moves too quickly, we forget the importance of pausing, of taking a moment to sit and listen. Over coffee, I can finally tell you what's been buried deep inside me, waiting for the right moment to rise to the surface. I've been holding on to these words for far too long, afraid of the impact they might have. But now I find myself craving the honesty that can only be spoken when we're willing to listen. Over a cup of coffee, no pretensions, just the truth. Sometimes the quietest spaces are the ones that reveal the most. Over coffee, I'll let the truth unfold slowly, unraveling the knots of emotion that have been tangled up inside me for too long. There's something about sitting across from someone with a warm cup in hand, the world outside fading into the background, that makes it possible to share the deepest thoughts, thoughts that have been keeping me awake, thoughts I can't hold in any longer. I need to tell you something important, something that has been with me in every waking moment, creeping into my thoughts like the steam rising from this cup of coffee. It's time to let it out, to stop hiding what's been inside me for so long. In this moment, everything else fades away. The noise, the distractions, and all that's left is you and me, sitting here, ready to listen to what I've been holding on to. This conversation is long overdue, and I'm ready to share what's been weighing on my heart. Over coffee, we don't need to rush the conversation. We don't need to pretend we have all the answers. All I need is a moment to share the truth that's been quietly stirring inside me, waiting for the right time to be said aloud. What's been on my mind, what I've been avoiding, is finally ready to come out. And there's no better place to let it all spill than over a cup of coffee, where the world slows down and we can be present in each other's presence, hearing the truth unfold. We all have things we need to say, things that have been lingering, held back by fear or doubt. But when the time comes and the space feels safe enough, we can let those words flow. No more holding back, just the raw truth shared over coffee. Have you ever been at a point where the things you've been feeling are so intense, so profound, that they feel like they might just spill over? I've reached that point, and there's no more waiting. Over coffee, I'm ready to let it all go. It's funny how the simplest moments often hold the most profound truths. As we sit here together, sipping our coffee, I find myself ready to speak the things I've been holding on to. No more silence, no more pretending. The truth doesn't always come in grand gestures or dramatic revelations. Sometimes it's the quiet moments that reveal the most. Over this cup of coffee, I'll finally tell you everything I've been too afraid to say until now. There's a heaviness in my heart that needs release, and I can't wait any longer to share it. Sitting here with you, with nothing but the sound of our voices and the steam from our coffee cups, I'm ready to tell you what's been pressing on my mind. Life has a way of complicating things, filling our minds with so many thoughts we can barely keep up. But in this moment, as we sit over coffee, I've found the clarity I need to finally tell you what's been on my heart. Sometimes words are easier to hold inside, but there comes a time when the silence becomes unbearable, when you can't keep hiding what's inside anymore. I need to tell you something important, and I think this is the perfect moment to do so. You know those feelings that are so powerful, so deep, that they start to consume your every thought. That's what I've been living with, and now I finally feel like I'm ready to share it all over coffee, where it feels safe to speak the truth. I've spent so much time trying to make sense of what's been on my mind, trying to organize the chaos in my head. But sitting here, with a cup of coffee in hand, I feel the need to simply let it all out. It's time to speak up.